One of the most annoying things about DSLR cameras is that they don't function well as video cameras. Yes, you can use them for video, however, you cannot use most of them for longer than 30 minutes. But today, whether you're shooting weddings, long services at church, or even just want to shoot a YouTube video and need enough room for you to make your mistakes, I have that solution here. It's time to take out your old Sony camera and repurpose it, because today is the day that you finally get a legit video camera. Hey guys, I'm Mike, nurse photographer and videographer, and on this channel we talk about photo, video, and story. Many of the new Sony cameras today, like the Sony ZV-1, which is similar to this, the Sony a6400, 6600, a7S III, the list goes on. They all have their record limits unlocked. You can record them for as long as your battery goes, and for as long as your memory card will allow. But some of the second generation Sony full frame cameras and point and shoot cameras like the Sony RX100, this is the Mark III version, and some of the a6000 series can be unlocked for their unlimited recording. I have a link to those compatible cameras in the description, as well as the other tools that you'll need for this hack. Here's a disclaimer to you that if you should decide to go ahead and proceed to hack your video camera, your new video camera, I am not liable to what you may have done to it, but I have done this trick many times and times before, and I have had no issues with hacking this. And then of course, should anything bad happen from trying to hack this camera or your camera, it's gonna void a warranty. But it's so old that I guess that doesn't really matter, huh? Okay, some things that you're going to need for this hack is of course the camera that you're going to use, a micro USB cable that functions because some is meant for charging and some is meant for data, and of course the computer. Windows, Mac works with both. However, regular viewers on this channel may know that I operate from a Mac OS. It just so happens that I updated my 2020 MacBook Pro 13 to the latest firmware or the latest software to Monterey, and this hack didn't work on that. However, if you have an older Mac OS, this may work. It just so happens that this, I think, 2021 release of Monterey just wasn't compatible with the software that I was trying to download. So since I wasn't able to use my MacBook to hack this camera, I wound up using my brother's Windows computer in order to install the software. And then evidently it worked like a charm, no problems. Alright, so once you finally downloaded the software that you needed, which was relevant to your operating system, whether it was Mac or Windows, of course install it, then open it up. Alright, the computer is all set. Now we're gonna go into our camera. Whether or not you're using this specific camera, you wanna go into your menu. You wanna go all the way over to your settings. For me, it's on page 3. And you wanna go to your USB connection settings and make sure it's on MTP. Alright, next we'll plug in our micro USB to the camera and use the other side and plug it into our computer. Alright, on the computer, through the software, click Get Camera Info, and all this information should populate. Then on this tab, on the drop arrow, choose Open Memories, tweak, then press Install Selected App. Then the screen should look something like this. Now that it's successful, you may now disconnect from your computer. Alright, let's go into our camera, go back to the menu, hit Application List, go over to Open Memories Tweak, that should be there. And then of course, this will be unselected. And it should say the limit is 29 minutes and 50 seconds. But now that we green check mark it, it's 13 hours and 1 minute. Alright, now that we got that tutorial over with, let's do some pro tips. You might be wondering, now that you have this unlocked for unlimited recording, you might be thinking, hey, how much could I actually get out of one single recording? Do I have to change out the batteries? Do I have to get certain kinds of memory cards or a certain size of memory cards? Well, it just so happens that I performed an experiment where I had this recording in my room. It's like 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't know what that is Celsius. And I had this plugged into my power bank, which was about 26,000 milliamps, while using a 256 gigabyte SD card. And just guess how long it ran for. Don't worry, I'll give you a moment. Just comment down below. Hint, it wasn't 13 hours. Alright, so it ran for 10 hours. However, that's with an asterisk. It ended up being 10 hours, but chopped up in 3 different video files. Now, I didn't use this in a real world situation, so I can't tell if there was any skipping in between each of these cuts or split videos, but it just seems pretty seamless. I didn't have to press start and stop. It just went all the way through, and then eventually it just stopped recording because there was no more space in the camera. The files are split up at 3 hours and 28 minutes each, and I was recording at 1080p at 60 frames per second. But amongst these 3 clips of 3 hours and 21 minutes, I also had a smaller clip of 31 minutes. So it adds up to more than 10 hours. By the way, if you're someone who's watching this video just to see how it's done and have not actually committed to hacking the unlimited record limit, have no fear, because if you do wind up hacking the limited record limit on this thing, you can still initialize it or reset the whole entire camera so that it goes poof. Believe me, I initialized this by mistake, and it's the whole reason why you have this video. It's because I had to do it all over again. But don't worry, I have other camera tutorials over here if you're interested, and here's another video recommended by YouTube. Thank you very much for watching, and I am Mike, reminding you to add life to what matters.